10 tips for mindful eating during the holidays. The holiday season. A time of year when indulgence abounds. Along with parties, gifts, and decorations, the festive season tends to be associated with food, and it can be easy to get so caught up in celebratory feasts and nostalgic treats that we lose track of regular, balanced meals and other healthy eating habits that serve us so well the rest of the year. People aren't used to eating out for so many meals or having a full buffet of food readily available during this time of year, says Rachel Goldman, PhD, a New York City-based licensed psychologist and clinical assistant psychiatry professor at the New York University School of Medicine. When we're distracted by being in a new environment or chit-chatting with friends and family, we're more likely to pick at food in front of us regardless of whether we're hungry. On special occasions, eating differently is to be expected. Overeating a bit over the holidays is very normal and not something to freak out about, says Rachel Hartley, RD, the owner of Rachel Hartley Nutrition and author of Gentle Nutrition. We have food-related celebrations and connections, and sometimes eating a little more than you normally would is a fun part of celebrating. What's more important, she says, is enjoying those moments of excess without feeling guilty. Mindful eating is a tool that can help you do that. Paying more attention to what, when, and how you eat allows you to better tune into your body's true physiological hunger cues and make choices that keep your energy and spirits up. You'll even savor your food more, whether it's an extra Christmas cookie or a kale salad. While most experts recommend against setting lofty goals during the holiday season, simply getting through it is more than sufficient. Practicing mindful eating beginning now can slowly but surely improve your relationship with food. It pushes judgmental thoughts out of the way while you eat, Dr. Goldman says. And because thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are linked, sidestepping self-criticism and focusing on the food on your plate without judgment can even change your eating behaviors for the better. What is mindful eating? Mindful eating, or tuning into your food, body, and thoughts while eating, can help you establish a healthier relationship with food by encouraging you to appreciate the sensory experience of eating, notice hunger and fullness cues, and get in touch with the feelings you associate with certain foods, says Dallas-based Christina Johnson, RDN, of encouragingdietitian.com. Being mindful has been shown to be surprisingly effective at curbing harmful eating habits and fostering overall healthier behavior. A systematic review and meta-analysis published in the September to October 2017 issue of Obesity Research and Clinical Practice found that practicing mindfulness decreased binge and impulsive eating, and increased physical activity among study participants. Another review, published in March 2018 in Current Obesity Reports, found that not only did people who practiced mindful eating lose weight, but the vast majority of them did not gain it back over time, as is usually the case with other weight loss methods. The review suggested a few potential reasons for this, including that practicing mindful eating may help people become more aware of their body's fullness and hunger cues, and help them avoid eating out of habit or for emotional reasons. When you're more aware, you're more likely to find more enjoyment in every bite, Johnson says. So how exactly do you practice this technique? We asked experts for their tips on how to bring mindfulness into your meals throughout the holiday season. Mindful eating strategies to improve your relationship with food during the holidays. 1. Recognize signs of hunger. Do you feel tired, sluggish, nauseous, or faint? Is your stomach growling and your mind wandering to thoughts of food, making it difficult to focus on tasks at hand? These can all be signs of hunger that are often ignored, Johnson says. It sounds simple, but recognizing what actual hunger feels like can help you eat more mindfully. To do so, think about the last time you ate. If it's been more than a few hours or what you last ate was a lighter meal or snack, you're probably physically hungry, says Hartley. 2. Sit to eat. It's easy to lose track of how much you're eating when you're grazing the holiday buffet while chatting with friends. Ditto when you're eating leftovers standing in front of the open refrigerator. When you sit down to eat, however, it can help you connect with the experience so you can better gauge how much time is passing and pay attention to what and why you're eating, Johnson says. So what happens when things are so hectic that you physically can't eat a proper meal? What's most important is that you're feeding yourself consistently and adequately, Hartley says. So pack a snack or two to sustain you between errands when a sitting down isn't on the table. 3. Breathe deeply. Taking a deep breath before eating can help you achieve some degree of mindfulness throughout your meal, Hartley says. Deep breathing allows us to become more in tune with our bodies in the present, Goldman says. A simple inhale and exhale gives you a chance to inventory your surroundings and check in with your body and emotions, so you can recognize hunger signals and respond with intention rather than react impulsively by refilling your plate. It's a tip that literally everyone has time for, even during the busiest day of the craziest holiday season. 4. Focus on sensory cues. This time of year, your senses can easily get overloaded by the sheer indulgence of the season, with its fancy cocktails, dazzling desserts, and nostalgic flavors. Taking time to really focus on the scent, taste, texture, and temperature of food is one way to practice mindful eating. Hartley says that it's smart to check in with how your food tastes a few times throughout your meal. If you can, pause at the beginning, middle, and end of the meal for a mindful bite or two when you can savor the food. Identify a flavor you particularly like or appreciate the fluffiness of your dinner bun. The exercise will help you avoid slipping into the mindless eating mode that leaves you feeling stuffed. You don't have to wine taste your entire meal, but even just a few bites can improve mindfulness. 5. Stick to a schedule. It's tradition to save up for the big meal because holidays are the time when we're allowed to break food rules, Johnson says. While you might think it's smart to bank calories by skipping meals in anticipation of a holiday meal, foregoing breakfast or lunch could actually trigger mindless eating and overeating. We make more informed decisions about what to eat when we aren't uncomfortably hungry, she says. 6. Pack your to-go plate first. Before settling down for a holiday meal, pack up all the things you think you'll want more of later. The practice will help you remember this isn't your last opportunity to enjoy holiday foods, which can decrease the pressure to eat opportunistically and past the point of fullness, Johnson says. If hoarding food ahead of a hosted meal sounds a tad awkward, bring a to-go box to fill later on and fill it mentally before you make up your dinner plate. 7. Indulge outside of holidays. If you allow yourself to have certain foods all the time, then you are more likely to be mindful of how much you are having, Johnson points out. Just imagine eating latkes every Saturday morning or keeping a fresh batch of Christmas cookies on hand in the freezer as opposed to enjoying them once a year. Chances are, you'll be less likely to overindulge when it's time to sit down for a holiday meal. And remember, Johnson says, you are always allowed to eat what sounds good to you. 8. Practice coping mechanisms. Spending time with family members you don't typically see can stir up emotions ranging from sadness to straight-up anger. Emotional eating is a normal human response, especially when we don't have the skills and tools to manage our emotions, Johnson says. Don't typically inventory your emotions at the dinner table? Hear us out. Recognizing an unenjoyable eating experience can help you understand whether you're eating for the right reasons or in response to a particular feeling. A bad idea, according to Johnson, since it's less satisfying than you might think. The negative emotions are typically still there after you finish your food, along with some feelings of guilt, shame, or self-judgment, she says. And that's no way to end a meal. When you practice the coping mechanisms you know you're going to need before you blow up at your mom or flip the table, you'll be an expert when the time comes to whip them out of your toolbox, Goldman says. For instance, deep breathing or meditation can be helpful before you sit down to a holiday meal or whenever you need a break from the festivities. Just slip into the restroom and do your thing. This way, you'll always have something to do besides eat in social situations when a go-to steam blower such as running isn't realistic, she says. It's best to practice this tool first thing in the morning and right before you go to bed throughout the holiday season and beyond to lower stress levels and prepare yourself for inevitable emotions and the mindless food fest that may otherwise follow. 9. Set an alarm. Practicing mindfulness throughout the day can set the stage for mindful eating during mealtimes, says Hartley. So set a reminder or alarm on your smartphone a few times a day, and when it goes off, pause for 30 seconds to recognize what's going on in your body. Is there anything you need to do to make yourself more comfortable, like stretching your shoulders after hours of being hunched over your desk or putting on a pair of cozy socks to warm your feet? Taking care of these needs can help you sidestep the mindless eating we sometimes do for comfort. And hey, you just might notice that you're hungry and actually do need a snack. 10. Slow down. Eat too quickly and you could miss the memo until it's too late, that is after you've scarfed down your seconds or thirds. It's why Goldman recommends putting down your utensil or finger food between bites. Many times people who overeat and feel guilty afterwards feel out of control at the moment, Goldman explains.